son of a bitch.
Cause Punch Drunk loves ya.
Gets on the phone. What's the crack, Terence? We've got a big deal for you. 200 million to be exact. Mixed martial arts against me and a boxing one against you. I don't want to be kicked by you. No way. You're mad. You can wrestle. I don't know how as a man or as a combatant you couldn't want to test yourself in this little protected bubble, and then it's just they think that this and that and the other. I'd slap the head off every single one of them easily. I'd slap them around.
Back then they showed no love.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Let's go, let's go. Drama, drama, drama. Wake up to the new me. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's get ready to rumble!
I want to see a fight. We want to see a fight. We want to see a fight. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash that like, smash that like, smash that like, smash that like. Smash that like. You already know. This is Punch Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moo. Shot himself. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this side of heaven. God bless you all. Ooh, somebody punking somebody. Somebody punking somebody. I don't want to see Terence Bud Crawford be a coward. No, 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 no. We know that Terence Bud Crawford is one of the best pound-for-pound boxers in the world. In this generation. Arguably the best. Arguably number one. But throughout, especially his later career, all I heard leading up to a Sean Porter fight. Nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter is a aggressive fighter, high pressure. But no, you got to understand that Terence Bud Crawford is a wrestler. He's a wrestler. He's Goldberg. He's Brock Lesnar. He's Brock Lesnar. He's the Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah, dig it. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's a wrestler leading up to Earl True Spence. Nah, bro. You know, Earl Spence could bring a lot of pressure. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot of body punches. But yo, Punch, you got to understand that Bud Crawford is a wrestler. A wrestler. Hey, yo, Punch. Yo, he's going to let him move up to the 168-pound division. He's going to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's really the bigger man. He's really the stronger man because he's a wrestler. He's a wrestler. So Conor McGregor, MMA fighter, calling out Terence Bud Crawford, Turkey Al Sheikh, says, my chocolate thunder, I would give you a great opportunity to face Canelo, the gingerbread Alvarez. And remember what I told you before the fight? I told you don't retire because I have a surprise for you, motherfucker. $200 million. $200 million to fight the Irishman, Conor McGregor. And Terence Bud Crawford turned it down. Now, there's going to be mixed emotions about this, folks. Let's hear what Conor McGregor had to say in his recent interview with Ariel. I just put it up there. Let's listen to it again. Give me a second. Give me a second, folks. Smash that like. Smash that like. This is what y'all want to hear. You punch. Stop talking about women boxing. Talk about boxing. Talk about the real shit. All right, let's see if I need to go back and talk about the divas because the men are acting like divas now. And the community is acting like divas now. No, Punch. Bud Crawford is retired. Leave him alone. No. He's not retired. He likes to go to everywhere. He's everywhere. He was in the White House. He goes to all the boxing event. He goes to the auto UFC event. It looks like that man ain't even to take a vacation. No. You give it. They prize fighters. You give him the right money, he'll take the fight. He'll take the fight. Take the fight. Let's see what Conor McGregor had to say. Give me a second. Give me a second. Where is it at?
Gets on the phone. What's the crack, Terence? We've got a big deal for you. 200 million to be exact. Mixed martial arts against me and a boxing one against you. I don't want to be kicked by you. No way. You're mad. You can wrestle. I don't know how as a man or as a combatant you couldn't want to test yourself in this little protected bubble, and then it's just they think that this and that and the other. I'd slap the head off every single one of them easily. I'd slap them around.
Slap them around. Slap them around. So is Terence Crawford going to show his wrestling skills, or is he going to turn into gold dust? Is he going to turn into the gold dust? If he's going to turn into a B-I-T-C-H, he's going to turn to a bitch. A man is calling you out, Terence Crawford. Let's go, Crawford. You the big bad wolf. You the bully in the sport of boxing. Now go to the MMA and use your wrestling skills. We seen you use your wrestling skills with the journalists. We seen you use and try to manhandle everybody you see. Now go to the MMA and use that skills and talent. Let's see it. I don't want to hear nobody say, yo, but you got to understand that boxing is where the money at. Boxing is where the... No. Let's get this. Let's get this straight. Let's get this straight. What's good, Alicia? Let's go, Lowe's. Let's go, Man on Fire. Let's get this straight. Yes, boxing makes money, right? But nobody hustles the boxing fans like the boxers. Oh, yeah, they make a lot of money. Yeah, they make a lot of money, but they also hustle us and never give us what we want to see. At least the MMA fighters, they go out there and challenge themselves. You don't see a bunch of MMA fighters acting like fucking divas, picking their fights, I'm not gonna fight it. I ain't worth more. I'm the A side. We don't hear that little corny-ish in the MMA. And there's always an excuse for a boxer to say, well, no, this is where the money at. This is not, people make money, but this is not truly where the money at in comparison to MMA fighter versus a boxer. See, we're talking about, well, Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is A side, was making more money than Conor McGregor. He's the A side. Tyson Fury is a cash cow in the sport of boxing. That's A side, cash cow. Yeah, Anthony Joshua versus Fresno Ngannou. Anthony Joshua is a cash cow. Yeah. Don't compare that. Oh, because it's Floyd and Tyson Fury and AJ, that an MMA fighter has to just bow to all the boxers out here. No, that's not the way it goes, baby. That's not the way it goes. Because when Holmes had to fight Ronda Rousey, her ass had to go all the way to MMA because Ronda Rousey was the cash cow. Now, Conor McGregor, compared to Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor is that cash cow. Conor McGregor is what brings the country. Conor McGregor is to bring the cash. So no, Bud Crawford is not in a position to be like, well, you got to come see me. Hey, yo, but Terence Crawford big fights. He's not the A side. It's Canelo. It's Errol Spence. It was not Bud. Never was Bud. And what I'm talking about in the landscape of that type of money, over $20 million. No, Errol Spence is the one that's really calling the shots. It's Errol Spence that gave Bud Crawford a payday. It's Canelo Alvarez that says, all right, Turkey, yeah, I'll fight Bud Crawford. If it wasn't for Turkey, let's be real, let's be honest, Bud Crawford would be fighting guys like Fundora, Josh Kelly. If it wasn't for those guys, especially if it wasn't for Turkey. I think that now because of Turkey, Bud, you can see Bud, he got that. And good that he's making money, but we all know that Bud don't generate that. We know in boxing that Bud does not generate that. He don't generate that. He can't do that for somebody else. No, that was all Turkey. Canelo generates. AJ generates. Earl Spence was packing the stadium up, even though you were Dennis Ugas almost 40,000 plus. He does that. Tank does that. Floyd does that. Oscar does that. Canelo, Pacquiao does that. AJ Fury does that. Amanda does that. Shout out to Amanda Serrano. Matter of fact, Amanda Serrano went to the MMA. Even Clarissa Shields went to the MMA. Holmes went to the MMA. And at that time, they wasn't making money in boxing. So why don't Bud go to the MMA? And I don't want to hear I don't want to hear fans say, well, he's retired. Where is he retired? Because you're still talking about potential fight with Boots and Bud. You're still talking about a potential fight with Boots and Bud. People still talking about a potential fight with a Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford rematch. So all I'm saying is, I would like to see Bud Crawford challenge himself, just like Conor McGregor saying. I want to see Terence Bud Crawford approach Conor McGregor like he did Teofimo Lopez Sr. I mean, he got all the heart to approach him like that. You know what I'm saying? Approach Conor McGregor just like that. Because I think so. I do think that Conor McGregor will slap the shit out of Bud Crawford. I keep it real. Yeah, I think so. In a street fight, yeah, Conor McGregor will whoop his ass. In a boxing fight, Bud Crawford will whoop Conor McGregor's ass. But in the fight, Conor McGregor will whoop Bud Crawford's ass. Slap him up all across the damn bar. I do think so. But in the boxing ring, Terence Bud Crawford will slap the shit out of Conor McGregor. But guess what? Conor McGregor already had the heart to face one of the greatest that ever laced him up in Floyd Mayweather. And to be honest, Conor McGregor lost that fight because it was stamina. He got knocked out because of stamina, really. It wasn't that. To be honest, I was actually impressed with Conor McGregor more than anything else. Was anybody impressed with Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor? Not really. I was actually impressed that Conor McGregor could go, 7, 8, 9 rounds with Floyd Mayweather, one of the best conditions boxer in the history of the sport of boxing. James Toney, Ray Mercer also went to the MMA. Yeah, Terence Bud Crawford, but Terence Bud Crawford claimed that he's the wrestler. Everybody claimed that I never seen a tape of Terence Bud Crawford wrestling in a real pro or even amateur bout, but he's a wrestler. When people say that he's a wrestler, it reminds me of when I used to think that I was a wrestler. When I used to play in my mom's bed and stuff like that. We play wrestling and Royal Rumble with my cousins and brothers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm Ultimate Warrior. He's Macho Man. Huh? Tag me in, cuz. I'm in, yeah. I used to put a bunch of socks. I used to tie up a bunch of socks on my leg, thinking I'm Ultimate Warrior. That's the only, when people say that Bud Crawford was a wrestler, that's all I could think of. Because I never seen the tape. I mean, has anybody seen the tape with Terence Bud Crawford with the little Speedos and stuff like that? Looking like Kirk Angle? Huh? Floyd didn't obviously train hard for that fight. It's about time that men boxers. Thank you, PJ. Yeah. You know why? Because boxing has gotten so soft. Boxing has gotten, and I agree with Conor McGregor when he says, "Oh, this little protected bubble." Yes, boxing has become the protected bubble. And because the turkey out shake comes in with, let me say it like this, man. Turkey out shake, especially now. And I was never a fan. Of people coming to the sport of boxing saying that boxing is dying. I was never a fan. I used to hold boxing down, fight for the integrity of the sport. But this sport has been so watered down. It's been so watered down that even look, this sport has become so garbage. I'll be honest. This sport has become so watered down that the time when I want to talk about a fight boxing, there's only 12 people over here listening to Punch Drunk Boxing. Yesterday, we was lit. Yesterday, we was lit out here talking about Remy Martin and Papusi. That's when I know this community is done. That's why I has to pivot. Boxing is not doing it. Boxing is trash, ladies and gentlemen, because you got trash, pussified fighter boxers. It's not that they can't box. It's that they so much of business. They so much of a businessman right now, and it's stock. They're like stockholders, or they're like dudes in Wall Street that could fight. but there's so much in Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? They're so afraid to lose their position that we're losing the sport because they're afraid to lose their position. None of these boxers care about the sport. None of these boxers they don't care if they out for a long time. They don't care as long as they get paid. And the thing is with Turkey Al Sheikh made it worse. Not because he wanted to make boxing worse. He thought that with the type of money that he's going to put on the table, that these boxers will be like, fuck, yeah, I'll fight and I'm going to go all out. I got nothing to lose. I'm still going to get paid. These guys, he made it worse. He made it worse to the point where I'm going to give you $10 million. And now these boxers like, shit, I don't want to lose. And I don't want to lose bad. All I got to do, if I win, it's good. If I lose bad, I come up with a good excuse for Turkey Al Sheikh to give me another opportunity. All these boxers is fighting and walking on eggshells. I tell you, one of the biggest mistakes was to put Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. That was one of the biggest mistakes. It was just not about the fight. It was just not about the fight. It was about what was going to be next. You want to put great fights, but also look into the future. That's why passing of the torch fight is very important in the sport of boxing. His job with all that money was not to put Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. It was to put Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez. And I said, and leading up to the fight, I said, my favorite division, the 154-pound division, the most competitive division in the sport of boxing, is one of the most stacked division in the sport of boxing. If you really put a tournament at 154, forget about Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, leave Bud Crawford in 154, which Bud Crawford actually looked at ordinary. The job was not. Once you saw how Bud Crawford performed versus Madrimov, you're like, damn. Wow, 154K boots coming up. Virgil was here. Xander is here. Earl Spence coming back. Keith Thurman came back. Fundura the emerged. Josh Kelly, Bakram, Boachuk. Yo, your job was supposed to put the tournament, the greatest tournament could be in the history in the sport of boxing, and put your money on that. Your job was not to put Ryan Garcia versus Rolly. Just put the Ryan Garcia versus Devin the Dream Haney straight off the bat. Because the reason why I look at Devin Haney performed the way that he performed versus Jose Ramirez was because he was trying to save themselves for a Ryan Garcia rematch. Look how Tio and Shakur, look how Tio performed versus Shakur. Tio wanted all this money. Tio complained. Tio complained about Turkey. Tio complained about Top Rank. Tio complained about the zone. Tio complained about Matchroom. Tio complained about everything. Tio complained. And as soon as he got the Madison Square Garden headline his card, how did he perform? Got the most money, everything he asked for. And how did he perform? Flat. And then these boxers say that this is the hardest sport. This is the most pussiest sport right now, bro. This is the most weak sport. And you know what? Even everybody outside, I've never in my life before heard anyone disrespect boxing. It's so weak out here. Come on, man. A Jake Paul could come to the sport of boxing and get a fight with Anthony Joshua and put himself in the rankings. You hear people like, oh, I want to go out. I want to go all out because, you know, I still think like even how Shakur performed great versus Tio, you was beating him every round. Why don't you go for the knockout? Why don't you go for it? Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. knocked him down. Go for it. Look how Usyk performed versus Rico. Yo, I'm telling you, folks. I've been holding on for so long, and I know there's other fan base that's holding on for so long. Boxing is at its weakest point, not because of the promoters, not because there's no money. It's because these boxers are no longer killers. These boxers now is in the evolution. It's an evolution now that people want to finesse the business and the action. It's like basketball, right? Before, you had the Iverson, you had the killer Kobe, you had the Jordans, you had killers. And then the three-point shot became a thing. That's why I'm so happy that my Knicks won. I'm so happy that Jalen Brunson won and he plays the way that he plays, because now it's back to I'm going to shake you, I'm going to break you down, I'm going to take you to the Baja like he did versus the alien. A guy like Stephen Curry, he'll try to shoot over. Oh, he'll step back, and shoot over. Nah, because of Jalen Brunson, the New York Knicks is back to I'm going to take you to the Baja. We ain't playing around out here in the island. You know what I'm saying? And behind the arc. I'm going to take your big ass paws to the Baja. And in boxing, I like the way that Bud Crawford performed with Earl Spence. But Bud Crawford also became a diva in the business side of things. Because of Bud Crawford, right after Canelo, right after Earl Spence should have been like, let me give Boots Ennis an opportunity. He complained his whole career about not getting an opportunity being ducked. That's a lie. Bud Crawford never been ducked. That's a narrative that they've been going. That's a narrative that haters of PBC, the debunk army of the PBC community, started. Oh, but Bud is ducked. Bud was never ducked. How can you be a 3-division undisputed world champion and be ducked? That means you have so many opportunities to become. That's like saying, yo, and oh yeah, you know, Uwe is ducked, but yeah, he's a 4-division world champion, 2-division undisputed. That's like saying Alexander Usyk is ducked, but he's a 2-division undisputed world champion. You're not ducked when you have so many belts and so many opportunities. You are 5-division world champion, 3-division undisputed. Nah, he been ducked. You know what I'm saying? He never had an opportunity. Shut the fuck up. These boxers are living vicariously through the green print of Floyd Mayweather. Y'all motherfuckers ain't Floyd Mayweather, bro. The same guy that's willing to pay you to face Canelo Alvarez is willing to pay you to face Conor McGregor. You're not the market. Turkey is. So for Buzz saying to Conor McGregor, well, he knows, that's why he knows the money is in boxing. No, Conor McGregor knows that the money was with Floyd Mayweather. It was not boxing. Floyd Mayweather is not boxing. Floyd Mayweather is Floyd Mayweather. Ain't nobody like Floyd Mayweather. Put it this way, Floyd Mayweather owes now a bunch of tax and stuff like that and jewelries and stuff like that. But at the time, it's not boxing. No, it's Floyd Mayweather. And I think that the boxers like to use that excuse. Well, you got to come to the sport of boxing to earn money and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to hear these boxers say, oh, the UFC, you know what I'm saying? They're not protected. It's like the boxers, because we ain't see a bunch of boxers go to the Muhammad Ali hearing, Ali Act hearing. They didn't care. They didn't care. If it was take out Turkey right now, folks, what do we have? If you take out Turkey right now, ladies and gentlemen, the sport of boxing, if Turkey says, wake up in the morning and say, you don't know what, fuck it, I'm out of here. Fuck it, I don't want to put my money in this. Where will boxing be right now? I don't think if it wasn't for Turkey right now, outside of Canelo Alvarez, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, no fighter will be making more, or Gervonta Tan Davis, or Ryan Garcia. No fighter will be making more than $2 million. Guarantee. Nope. Name me one. If it wasn't for Turkey, I'll shake. No fighter right now will be making the most $3 million guaranteed. Guaranteed. I ain't talking about pay-per-view back end. $3 million guaranteed. Nobody will be making more than that. Let's not forget how much Devin Haney was going to be making versus, Sando Martin. Remember? The purse bid? It's going to make $1.4 million. What's good, Teresa? What's good? That's why we need to focus, determine Tank back, because he was a killer. Yeah, I miss Tank. I want Tank back. I want Tank to be active. No. I don't give a damn what anybody say no more. Tank is the man, bro. Tank is entertaining. Tank, 9 out of 10 times, he's gonna give me a show. He's gonna give me my money's worth. And he don't got to say nothing. See, Tank don't say nothing. Tank don't even be on social media. These guys do not fill the void. Oh, yo, but Tank, but hey, when's the last time Tank fought? When's the last time these guys that be fighting entertains me? Let's put it that way. When somebody says, yo, so what, man? Tank, when the last time Tank fight, he don't even dare to be great. These motherfuckers fight and don't entertain, and when they fight, they don't dare to be great because they don't go for it. So what's the difference? What's the difference? Look at all these fights that we had. Tell me a highlight. There's no highlight. I'm not going back. Yo, bro, I'm not going back looking at Inoue versus Nakatani. I'm not going back looking at Usyk versus Rico. I'm not going to go back watching Tio and Shakur. I'm not going to go back and watch Devin versus Brian Norman. I ain't going to go watch none of these fights. These fights are it's like a reel. You know when you in your phone and you just pass, okay, nothing memorable. Nobody's giving us nothing memorable. You know, when I think about Tank, I think about that uppercut versus Leo Santa Cruz. I think about that knockout versus Ryan Garcia. If I go right away and somebody tell me about Shung, the last years of boxing, what do you remember? Shung, boom. Tank versus Ryan, Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz, the uppercut. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, the back and forth. Inoue and Stephen Fulton, Bud Crawford, Earl Spence, Conor McGregor, Conor Ben and and Eubank Jr. The first fight, Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. Congrats, yes. Come on, Knicks. Parade Thursday. I wish I knew, to be honest, I wish I'm more educated on the fighters in bare knuckle. Because the thing is, I like to do content, but I also got to talk about something that I know. I'm not going to be like these other channels and trying to create something. Oh, because, I just want to talk about something that people may like, but I got to be educated because it flows. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be hustling. I'm not going to be a content creator that hustles and stuff like that. People. I wish I know more, and I'll be watching bare knuckle, but I don't be watching it like almost every day. I do like it. I think bare knuckle challenge is more entertaining to me than boxing right now. Not even MMA. See, the things is I'll be impressed with MMA, and then I'm like, so the White House, everybody's talking about that card. I'm gonna watch it. I still haven't watched it. I watched the highlights, but everybody says it's exciting. I'm gonna watch it, and then I'm gonna be excited about MMA. But every time I'm excited about MMA, then there's an event where I just see a bunch of ground and pound. That shit is boring to me. You know what I'm saying? But boxing, I'm trying to hold on so much with the sport of boxing. Because of course I got a boxing channel and I built my platform talking about boxing. But I'll be honest, I'll be lying to y'all if I say that I love boxing like I used to love boxing. I don't. None of these fighters truly impress me anymore. I got to the point where I'm falling asleep watching boxing in the arena. If you be like, hey, yo, Punch, I got a boxing ticket. Let's go to the arena. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn about interviewing a bunch of boxers anymore. I'm only going to be talking about boxers that I like and I want to support. Period. These boxers no se lo merecen. Yeah. All these dudes are divas, bro. If Shakur Stevenson says, hey, yo, I'll fight Devin Haney at 144. Devin Haney says, I'll fight you at 144. Let's get this deal done, and that's it. I want to hear Shakur Stevenson says, yo, done deal. I'm signing my shit. Hey, yo, Devin Haney, I sign my shit, and that's it. Let's move on. Let's move forward. No. These guys throughout we saw a whole playoff, and we're still stuck on Devin Haney saying he'll fight at 144 and Shakur Stevenson saying, well, you know what I'm saying? And then you got Keyshawn Davis saying to Devin Haney, he's not going to fight you. Like if Shakur Stevenson is telling Keyshawn Davis, don't worry, I'm not going to fight Devin Haney. I want you to have it. Because no, motherfucker, they tried the boxing world would rather see. In my opinion, I believe that stylistically, Keyshawn Davis will make a better fight for Devin and for Shakur. If I talk about Keyshawn Davis and Shakur, dudes will be like, yo, but you know they friends. I don't give a fuck about their friendship. I don't give a damn about their friendship. I'm a boxing fan first. I don't care about your friendship. Stop talking to me about your fucking friendship. I don't care, bro. If y'all don't want to fight each other, if Keyshawn doesn't want to fight Shakur Stevenson, then you a pussy for Shakur Stevenson. That's it. You a slave to Shakur Stevenson, my brother. He got you on the leash, and I'm a fan of Keyshawn Davis. But when it comes to this Shakur and Keyshawn Davis is Shakur Stevenson's bitch. If you don't want to fight him and dare to be great, you his bitch, my brother. Period. Fuck all that nice shit. Yo, Punch, and then they see me in a fight. Yo, Punch, what you said? Fight Shakur Stevenson. That's all I want to hear. You're not gonna fight Shakur, but you know we friends. They get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm gonna keep the same energy. I think that Keyshawn Davis versus Devin Haney will be more entertaining. I think that Keyshawn Davis versus Shakur Stevenson will be more entertaining. I think Keyshawn Davis versus Terence Gervonta Davis will probably be stylistically the best fight. Because Keyshawn Davis will box and he will rumble. But this friendship got Keyshawn Davis like he's getting manipulated. No, I want to see Keyshawn Davis say, Devin doesn't want to fight me, but Devin wants to fight you. Devin, you're not going to want to fight me. You want to fight him? I'm going to take this dude out. You're going to have to fight me. You want to fight him? But the easiest fight that I can make, that we got the same manager and I want to fight Shakur. That's the easiest fight to make. And y'all friends. But no, I'm your friend. I'm your friend. Even AC Slater and Zach Morris fall on Saved by the Bell. Good looking out, high, low. Divas. Move. If it's moonshine, gotta be great, better than Foster Flakes. All these back and forth. There's so much money. What is with the back and forth, bro? 200 years ago, we're talking about Conor McGregor and Terence Crawford, $200 million. I don't want to get kicked. He told Conor McGregor, I don't want to be kicked. Oh my God, stop being so much of a pussy. Because I know when the fucking the Teofimo Lopez Sr. gets in your face, you want to fight an old man. You want to flip around journalists. Huh? Fight him. Boxers have become so much, how you say? You remember there used to be a phrase in boxing. I fight whoever they put in front of me. Because a fighter wouldn't care. All he does is train. He got his people to handle his business, and he wouldn't care because he's ready to fight anybody. No, nowadays these boxers are, I need you. And now it's publicly. Before, even if there was catch weights and rehydration clause, that used to be behind the scenes. No, now these boxers says, I will fight him at 144 in rehydration clause, and I want to walk first outside, and I want to be the A side. That's what that language is what I don't like what Floyd brought to the table. I love his skills and talent, but I don't like that he publicized the business of boxing. We the A side. Ask it who you never said. I'm the A side. I'm gonna fight Julio Cesar Chavez, and I'm the A side. I'm gonna fight Miguel Cotto. I'm the A side, and he got to take this much money and stuff. We never heard this before. We never heard this before. You supposed to. I want Shakur, and let me tell you like this. If you ask me who's the favorite versus Shakur versus Devin Haney, I say Shakur. I don't think it's a big deal for Shakur to go to 147. He knows something that we don't know. And now I'm starting to think, I'm going to think negative. The reason why I believe that Shakur Stevenson won Devin Haney to fight at 144, and he's, all hell bent about not going to 140. You're going to fight Devin Haney. Devin Haney is not the second coming to Mike Tyson. Devin Haney is not a knockout artist. Now, if Devin Haney was a knockout artist, like I understood why Gervonta Davis needed to do that to Ryan Garcia and not do it to Mario Barrios, because Ryan Garcia is a knockout artist with speed and power. Thus, Gervonta Davis saying, yo, you need a rehydration clause because I know. But what it is about Devin Haney? Is it because Shakur and Devin Haney are snack fighters and they both know the science? And maybe Terence is telling yo, Shakur, I'm telling you right now, you know, he's with the same guy that we with. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just letting, I don't know. Salute, salute. Salute. In the building, was good. Shemai in the building. Let me know, folks. Too much divas. Not even the women act like this. Not even the women. Look. They were supposed. There was a Chantel Cameron and Michaela Mayer was going through negotiations. Chantel Cameron is saying, "Yo, let's fight the 12 rounds, 3 minutes." But it's gonna have to take Michaela Mayer to lose her belt because the WBC won't sanction 3 minutes for the ladies. But Michaela Mayer said, "Yo, I work hard to get this belt." Cool. All right. Chantel Cameron said, "Whatever. It's still a great fight. Let's make the fight happen." And the fight already got announced. It only took 4 days of that. Oh, I'm not gonna sign and I'm not gonna let go of my belt, whatever, blah blah. Chantel Cameron says, "Fuck it, man. At the end of the day, it's still a big fight. We're gonna get paid. ESPN wants it. I want it. You want it. Let's make it happen." No, with these dudes, we have to wait months and months and months. The same fucking topic and narrative for months is the 144 catchweight. For months, we have to talk about this. Lone Nose Boxing with a $2 super chat says, "Yo, Prime Oscar in a packs today entire 147 facts. He packs the whole entire 147-pound division. Facts. And then you guys, some of you guys that support the channel, that are subscribed to the channel, and when we're talking about another topic, hey, yo, Punch, but this is a boxing channel. Why are you talking about the Knicks? Fuck him. I'm talking about my Knicks. Yo, Punch, but why are you talking about Clarissa Shields and Remy and Papoose and Alicia Baumgartner? They still boxers, right? People want to listen to that because people don't want to listen to this stupid subject about the Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney going back and forth about 144 for 2-3 months. We in June. We're heading to July. We're midway going to July. When's the last time Devin Haney fought? When did Shakur Stevenson fought in January? Nobody got a nosebleed. Get back in the ring and shut up. Or if you're going to talk, promote the fight. Since January to now, we got the news was Shakur is winning to go to Conor Ben. Shakur said he's winning to fight Ryan Garcia. But then the catchweight. Devin Haney was supposed to fight Rolly. Rolly doesn't want to fight Devin. They in negotiations. What are we talking about here, bro? And if there's no fight announced now, that means, okay, every time I say there's not, okay, it's June what, 15, 16. If they announce a fight tomorrow, then we have to wait 8 weeks. That means a fight will happen in August. If they announce a fight in July, then the fight will be in September. This is and us boxing content creators have to come up with this bullshit of content. Because of course, we build a following and people subscribe and follow us, and we want to keep this thing flowing. But let me tell you like this, ain't no boxing content creator is doing anything genuine right now when it comes to boxing, because there's nothing to talk about. The only thing to talk about right now is Anders Eyes versus Jerome Boots Ennis. And that topic, people don't support. That topic, people don't support. People are afraid to talk about something else. Because let me tell you like this. Let me tell you like this about boxing content creation and YouTube and all of that. When something is cooking, YouTube will recommend that video for people, because how it works is you do a video, you create a video, and YouTube will recommend your video to a little group. And if that little group likes it, retention, because that's what they care about now, YouTube. is retention. Forget about the like buttons. You know what I'm saying? The liking is, I could say smash the like button, smash the like button. At this point, this is not kindergarten. Everybody knows if a content creator is putting out work, everybody knows for that shit to create traffic and go to the next level is the like button. But YouTube really primarily wants retention. How long can you watch a video? So you create a video, it sends it to a small group, and if that small group is not into it, it doesn't recommend it nowhere else. Y'all want me to give you y'all want me to give you an example? I'll give you an example. Only because I'm real like that. People not gonna say it. People not gonna educate why certain people talk about certain things. Give me a second. Okay, my video. Was Clarissa Shields manipulated why Papoose may not get a divorce? I'm gonna give you an example. So the views, look at the average view of duration, 8 minutes going on 6 minutes. That's what YouTube, people are into it. So guess what YouTube does? So YouTube says, you know what? YouTube will recommend the video. And then it will pop up on other feeds because people are in tune with the content. People are interested of the content. Yo, Punch, but why you ain't talking about the fight with Ben Rodriguez? And why you don't talk? Give me a second. Let's see what we spoke about. No. Give me a second. Let's see. I'm gonna give you a video. Yeah. Where is that? Okay. Keyshawn Davis, wake up. Keyshawn Davis, wake up. Shakur is using you as his friend. How about you call Keyshawn Davis out? We're talking about Keyshawn Davis, Devin Haney, the same topic, right? So guess what? Look at the views. Look at the average view duration. All down. So what does YouTube do? You know what this is YouTube telling you. Punch drunk, you're wasting your time. Don't talk about what people don't want, or we're not going to recommend your channel. You're not, it's almost like an evaluation. You're not doing a good job. Shut the fuck up about this boxing. We don't care. And your people that subscribe to you don't care. So what is it? Should we talk about this? Look at yesterday and look at today. We're talking about Conor McGregor, Bud Crawford, and it's not good content. We talk about boxing. Boxing ain't shit now. Bud Crawford, a damn fool, going over the world, smiling and repeating what he's been being told, that legacy is more important than 200 million versus Conor McGregor, 100 million versus Canelo Alvarez. But Bud Crawford is just these boxers are cowards to go to the Octagon. That's what it is. That's it. I'm not saying they're cowards in a boxing ring. They're cowards to fight in the Octagon. I don't want to be kicked. But then when it comes to boxing, I'm a fighter. And this is the toughest sport. This is the most dangerous and toughest sport in all sports. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. An MMA fighter will beat the crap out of a boxer in the streets. No, it's not. No, it's not. Boxing used to be. Boxing is not the hardest sport anymore. Boxing is the easiest sport. I said it. Yep. I've changed so much throughout the years, and I knew that coming 2026, I said the gloves is off. That's it. I've been on the business side of it not minimal business like advising fighters, and no, even in the low level, how fighters act. Bro. There's so much divas, bro. They divas, man. I'll tell you this: if more than half of the fighters, you won't even be friends with. You won't relate to them. They're weird. They're emotional. They're more emotional than a bitter, sad chick. To be honest, they're vulnerable. They're very weak minded. I like listening to you and your personality, the ratings, the views. People are busy with the kids out of school for the summer. Yeah. No, I know, but it's also that. Boxing is not respected the way it used to be. You know how boxing is easier? Because Jake Paul, he just can't go to a baseball field and hit a 90 miles per hour fastball. Jake Paul cannot go to a NBA court, right? And in 3 years, he started boxing, and then in 3 years already fighting MMA fighters and August and boxers fighting AJ. You think that Jake Paul going to the NBA and suiting up with the Knicks to get playing time? No, but he does that in boxing. Look at the misfits. Look at the celebrities. What they use? They don't use basketball. They don't use softball. They don't use baseball. They don't use MMA. Now they're using MMA, right? And that with the Ray J and shit like that. But most of all, they use boxing because boxing is clownish. And in the business of boxing, they sanction it. The California State Athletic Commission sanctioned Eden Ross' last event. Crawford's friend are suspect for not having a heart. They don't have heart to truly, like Conor McGregor said, they don't have the heart to truly challenge themselves. They hide behind the Floyd Mayweather quote of they make more money and people make more money in boxing. But the thing is, people make more money because they fighting Floyd, a cash cow. MMA, Francis Ngannou was not fighting just okay. If put it this way, ask yourself this, folks, because like I said again, they're hiding behind the cash cows of boxing. So when the MMA crosses over to boxing, yes, that MMA make more money, but fighting who? If Francis Ngannou comes to the sport of boxing and fights the rank number 23, how much money he's making? Less than the UFC. You understand? Less than the UFC. If Conor McGregor would have came to the sport of boxing and fight counterbid, he would still make mad money. But because it's Conor McGregor also. But I'm just saying, if an MMA fighter comes to the sport of boxing and fight the rank number 50, is he gonna get all that money? No. It's because Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather. Francis Ngannou fought Tyson Fury. And guess who gave the money? Turkey gave the money. So these guys are hiding behind this Floyd Mayweather. No, bro. No, it's not. Yeah, boxing make money. But also, y'all get effed over in boxing as well. So let's add it up. So a UFC fighter is not paying sanctioning fees. A UFC fighter is not paying belt fee. So if Terence Crawford or anybody, let's say, is fighting, why did Josh Taylor vacate his undisputed crown? He was only going to get what, $2.7 million to face a Teofimo. That means 3% out of belt fees and sanctioning bodies. How much he's coming home with? So he vacates. See, boxers get money, but boxers get effed over more than any other athlete in the world. Tell me in other sports that you pay for. You think that Jalen Brunson is paying for his championship trophy? You think that Jalen Brunson is paying for his ring? No. Boxers pay to be a champion. Boxers pay for belts. Boxers pay to be ranked. How many fighters you always hear that they say that they broke? Exactly. It's Turkey's money. So now Bud is hiding behind Turkey's money. Now he goes, oh, I'm the cash cow, made all this money. You got Turkey, bro. If it wasn't for Turkey, it was never going to make that money with Canelo Alvarez. Turkey is just a low a dude that's, you think that Canelo Alvarez wouldn't even be making $80 million to face William Skull. Now they're confusing Turkey's money to real market value. But isn't that why people hated Al Heyman? But then they love Turkey, and it doesn't make sense. Because I believe if you like Turkey, then you like Al Heyman. And if you hate Al Heyman, then you gotta hate Turkey. It doesn't, it's not, I hate Heyman, but I like Turkey. Or I like Turkey. I like Heyman, but I hate Turkey. No. If you like Heyman, you respect Turkey. If you respect Turkey, if you hate Turkey, you hate Al Heyman. That's the way it is. Because spoiling these fighters made it worse, right? Spoiling these fighters, and that's what's happening right now. So in boxing, you're not gonna see these fighters go all out. And fighters are not gonna go all out because they're waiting for the next payday. For fighters, it's gonna take more money to fight for something. Like I'm gonna give you Conor McGregor, Conor Ben versus Chris Eubank Jr. You know why they fought like that? It's not really about the money. They fought like that because it was about something bigger. They was fighting for their last name, their father's legacy that became their legacy as well. It was meaningful. See, these guys, these boxers are not, they don't dislike and hate each other. They're friends. They're too nice. They're recreational kids. You know what I'm saying? Richards and Hitchens doesn't want to fight Shakur. Shakur's not going to fight Richards and Hitchens. Gary Antoine Russell knows Shakur, and vice versa. They don't want to fight each other. And boxing became so trash. The mentality of these boxers became so trash. Outside of, see, that's why I like women boxing. Because these women are truly, 99% of them is not divas. See, Clarissa now is acting like the men. Because with the part with Shadeja Green, she should have fought Shadeja Green. That was the biggest fight. But she was trying to play what the men's play because now she chilling with Bud and chilling with Audrey Ward and Shakur Stevenson. So now it's about picking and choosing. She should have fought Shadeja Green. That was the biggest fight. And now she got no opponent. She got no more hype, a matchup that is hype. Once there's a matchup for you that's hype, any fighter has to be like, this is money. Any hype fight is like that's an automatic. That's an automatic. I'm gonna be rich. These fighters run away. They marinate the game because they think that their big fight is Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. You understand? These fighters think they live vicariously. They all think they're Floyd Mayweather, so they marinate fights. If the fight waits, we make more money. No, you stupid idiot. Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G made a lot of money. They didn't have to wait. Canelo Alvarez and Triple G didn't wait. Canelo Alvarez went from 154, fought Kirkland, fought Cotto, then went to Triple G. They didn't wait a long time for that fight. They got to marinate the fight. Marinate what? We're not living in a world that marinates shit no more, bro. You don't even marinate your own rice. What the fuck do these fighters talk about? You remember back in the days, your grandmother would marinate the rice, marinate the pork chops, the chicken, season it, put it in the refrigerator. No, everything is fast. We want fast information, fast. Nobody buys a newspaper, bro, anymore. Why buy the newspaper? Why? The only reason if you go and buy a newspaper today is because you just like the way that it feels of you turning a page. Especially in boxing, nobody's waiting around on boxing no more. Everybody's forgotten. All these fighters, I see them in the street, man. Nobody know who they are. They could walk the street. Nobody cares who they are, bro. Back in the days, you were champion. The whole neighborhood, yo, champ, yo, champ. Look, tell them to go walk in Town Square. Nobody pays attention to these people anymore. I seen it with my own eyes. Nobody cares. If you're not Tank, if you're not Ryan Garcia, come walk in New York City in the street. Nobody give a damn. They'll step on you. Get the hell out of here. They'll be like, man, I never thought he was that small. Turkey gave the bag. Yep. I think that this fight will do good. I mean, if I have to watch Usyk versus Rico, and I have to watch Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou, I think this is a good fight. I think Bud would really tap into a whole nother level of true combat fighting. Because now they'll be like, yo, okay, Floyd Mayweather fought Conor McGregor. But out of all of them, damn, Bud Crawford had the heart to just go to the Octagon. And if he is this wrestler that all these people say he is, and the strongest guy in the weight classes, then hey, maybe we'll see something special. I mean, did it lose? I mean, Clarissa Shields, did it hurt her career? It didn't hurt her career. Losing in the MMA. I don't think Bud Crawford will still be undefeated. It will be Bud Crawford there and it'd be great. $200 million, $100 million. Get your shit kicked in and that's it. And then move to boxing and then you whoop Conor McGregor's ass in boxing. Isn't this is who they are, prize fighters? So when we talk about legacy, these fighters be like, no, I mean, the belts don't matter because you're not going to take the belt. So the money. All right. So how about the money? Now you got the money or now you don't want to get kicked in it. Now it's all about like, now, oh no, why are you going to destroy his legacy fighting Conor McGregor in the Octagon? I want to see a fight. I'm a fight fan. Forget about the boxing shit. MMA, I'm a fight fan. I want to see a fight now. I'm eager to see a fight. I'm thirsty to see a fight. I'm not thirsty to see a bunch of fencing anymore. I don't care about this, oh my God, the sweet science and, and pot shotting your way to victory. For me, you a loser. I'm no longer supporting any fighter that doesn't go for it. That's why I got my whole new pound for pound list. It's not going to have fighters that doesn't go for it. If I sense that you don't go for it, I feel like you're robbing me. Because at the end of the day, it's all about effort. It's all about effort. I don't give a damn if you lose. It's a fight. People win, people lose. It's just like your kids. You care about effort. You care that they're trying hard. It's all about effort that they're trying to win. They're trying to pass the test. They trying to do. You can see it when somebody's truly trying to win. And you're going to make mistakes while you're trying to win. But genuine, your effort is what I want to see. I want to see effort. I'm no longer a fan of fighters that don't go for it. You're stealing from me. So I see it. You're stealing from me. You're false advertising. Most of these fighters are false advertisers. They're hustling you. They're hustling us. Hey, y'all, I'm going to knock this dude out, watch, and don't even go for the knockout. And then, guess, they go home and they get paid. We lose out. We lose time. We lose bragging rights. We lose. Some people will fly out. Some people buy hotels. And then at the end of the day, think about this, folks. We've been waiting for Terence Crawford and Earl Spence. I just watched an interview with Earl Spence with Andre Ward. And he says, and Andre Ward asked him, so how was camp? Man, camp wasn't even good. I ain't even spar. When I hear that, I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers just be hustling us. They don't care. You telling me the biggest fight of your career, I didn't even spar. You already have 30 plus fights. You're not gonna depend on James. If something is not right with Derek James, go get another trainer. Or you got your dad. Your dad had been in the corner. At least he knows what to do. At this point, he knows what to do. You just ain't started. This is not your first camp ever. You know what I'm saying? Or, I was already thinking that that's going to be my last fight. Yo, they be hustling us, bro. So now is now in your big fight, you didn't spar. He said the only thing he did preparing to the fight is do pad work. Come on now. Come on, man. How many times do the fans have to hear an excuse leading up to a fight? Look at Stephen Fulton versus O'Shaquie Foster. And you look at how sloppy he looked. But then I like Stephen Fulton. Yo, Stephen Fulton, man, one of the good fighters, man. I think he got the pound for pound qualities. Why these guys come out like that in big fights? Because you know why? Because there's a lot of money. And all they have to do is go past 4 rounds and they're good. They don't care. Maybe if these guys were still getting paid at the $300,000, they would probably fight. These guys will fight harder and better when they didn't get millions. Now they get millions, they don't fight. I mean, that's what makes also guys like Canelo and Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya special, because they still have balls. Well, I'm not gonna say the Canelo. I think he was losing his balls. When Turkey came along, I think Canelo took his soul and balls at the same time. But anyway, as you can see, even talking about boxing bores me. And it bores y'all too. So tomorrow we talk about something else. There's really no engagement really in the chat, in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? I try to talk about something that is very relevant right now. Y'all not into it. My attitude is not hype. I'm not into it. I don't want to sacrifice putting my kids to sleep for this topic. So tomorrow, my fault, guys. Tomorrow we back at it with a different type of topic. I'm gonna put on the post 4 topics earlier tomorrow, and then see what we're gonna talk about. Thursday is gonna be Knicks all the way, but I'm keep on telling you. I told you 2025 that I'm gonna pivot. 2026, we're gonna be talking about other things. You know what I'm saying? So tomorrow we back at it. 7:30, 8 or 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully there's a better topic. Well, there's other topics I really wanted to talk about, but I'm gonna start off better with a better energy, and I don't feel the energy. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like people want to talk about this thing, and I ain't gonna waste my time. Tomorrow we back at it. 7:30, 8 or 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully we bring Demetrius Andre for an interview. We were supposed to, we chopped it up. He's probably training right now. So tomorrow we probably have the Demetrius Andre talk about his fight July 24th. I want to get Tiara Brown so we could chop it up about her win, her victory this past weekend. I did hit up, but he never sees his messages. I want to get Xander Zayas. You know what I'm saying? So next topic, we're gonna put this topic in the garbage. This Conor McGregor and Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford topic is trash. We out of here, folks.